Good morning, afternoon to my teachers and peers. My name is Rachel. The team analysis conducted for Assignment 1A found that Sean, a grade 3 teacher based in a low socioeconomic school with a high population of ESL and Indigenous students with a low literacy level below benchmark, needed to focus his formal literacy lessons of science at a more simplified level that students can understand first before expecting them to know an area of learning with no prior knowledge. To help incorporate Bill Green's 1988 three dimensions of literacy, operational, cultural, and critical, into Sean's science unit, I have found inquiry-based learning methods that would support the classroom learning. The challenges with incorporating literacy into a science lesson with Sean's class is finding the correct language to start with when introducing new words, sounds, and written language to students that already have a low literacy level within the subject area. The team felt that Sean needed to base his teaching pedagogy around inquiry-based learning and find ways to address his unit to support formal literacy teaching. As inquiry-based learning is a constructivism approach, the goal is for students to make meaning of what they are learning. I would suggest that Sean would be able to take advantage of Scamp and Preston's 2015 inquiry-based primary connection 5E phases of science model to plan out his unit. The first phase being engaging students. Sean can take advantage of creating a cross-curriculum lesson with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures from the Australian curriculum, and putting emphasis on the critical literacy dimension. Another engaging lesson for students with high ESL background would be to use visual thinking strategies by Haynes 2016. Another inquiry-based method which develops aesthetic and language literacy as well as critical thinking. Sean could get students to watch a video or conduct an experiment to develop students' visual strategies, which will introduce the operational literacy dimension. With a high Indigenous population, Sean could incorporate a Dreamtime story that talks about solids and liquids, something about water on the land or freezing water in the desert when temperatures get cold and then the sun melts it again into a liquid. Sean could use traditional words that Indigenous cultures use to describe solids and liquids, then relate it back to his lesson by visually writing the scientific word for students to see. The visual connections of a video or experiment would assist students to visually see what they are learning about and assist in inquiry-based learning where some students might be able to respond with their prior knowledge. This would also be an engaging lesson to get students interested before they are asked to use their literacy skills of writing and speaking about a subject that is confusing to them. The above suggestions I have made, I feel benefit the incorporation of literacy into Sean's science unit. By beginning this unit with 2 lessons, students will be able to follow through with the rest of his unit with more ease. There are challenges to introducing to a science unit with low literacy understanding or knowledge to ESL and Indigenous students. However, studies by Hughes and Moores 1997, Haynes 2016, support that Indigenous students connect better with learning that is meaningful to their culture that they can relate to, and visual learning positively reinforces literacy connections. If Sean were able to develop his unit beginning with the inquiry-based methods I have researched, I feel that students would grasp a faster understanding of the science curriculum and make better literacy connections. Thank you for listening.